Wake up, it's the Coach Brickey Sports Show with the team that can give you what you know, what you need and what you want on the court. For football, the basketball, and every other sport. With Troy and DL and Dr. Carl Brinkley and Paul and the Coach Robert Brickey. It's time, get your coffee and get ready for the flow. Get ready for the Coach Brickey Sports Show. And get ready for the flow. And get ready for the flow. And get ready for the flow. Brickey Sports Show. And get ready for the flow.
Deal's not there yet.
And get ready for the flow.
And good morning to you back on this Monday morning. It is a little chilly out there. That's interesting. It really is. But anyway, though, to God be the glory. And we're back, and we have on this morning the Coach Brickey Sports Show, and we have Coach Brickey. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning. Good to be back with you on this Monday.
Yeah, man. You know, I'm glad you feeling a little better there, sir. You know, been offering up prayer for the brother.
Yes, listen, man. You know what? When you down and you realize that you got people around you that you trust that are praying for you, it makes a difference. So I do appreciate your prayer.
I'm serious, man. You know, because I mean, and I meant that sincerely. You know, but if you get a little older, brother, I remember I was in my 40s one time, and you know, I used to like be down for a day or two, jump back up, run back to work.
Right.
I ran back to work.
Yeah.
Had to turn around, go back home. Cause I'm telling you, you know, you don't bounce back the same. You know, when you get a little more mature. Right. Of course, you know you're a lot younger than I am. You know, so but still, I got to try to make it through these 70s, brother. That's what a lot of folk don't get through. You know that, right? Well, you know,
Right.
I think you're a financial guy, so I'm sure you run them kind of numbers. That 70s is when it takes out most folk. So,
You know what, man? I say just the 70s is where an accumulation of decisions happen in your life.
yeah,
Did you take care of yourself? Did you manage money? Did you have a plan?
yeah,
You know, are you mentally well in a good space? A lot of that comes crashing in at 70 because, you know, that's when people retire. That's the time people retire.
yeah.
And if you don't have some of those things in order, it's a lot harder to manage that 70 to 80 period.
Yeah, that's true. No doubt. I mean, you know, and look, I'm getting my feet wet with that now, sir. So, you know,
Right.
and unfortunately, man, a lot of my friends are no longer here. I mean, a lot of them. People that I grew up with, personally knew, people that I worked with, they're no longer here. But that's one of those things.
Yeah.
Anyway, DL,
Yeah.
good morning, sir. You there?
Yeah, good morning. It's a little chilly up here, but we're going to make it. Not snowing like it is in Denver for their baseball game.
Yeah, man, when I was in the military, I used to be out there, bro. I'm telling you, it used to blow. You know, March, April, and May were the worst winter months they have when I was out there in the 70s. I mean, that was like terrible. March, April, and May. So, them snow blizzards and all that other stuff. But anyway, it is cool here. I think we'll have a high today of 60. So, but again, it feels good, you know, get up, walk the dog, and stuff like that, man. You know, get a chance to walk Bella. So, you know, she's going to enjoy a walk on today better than she would if it's 90 degrees. You know that.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. Well, look, on to the topics for today, sports, man. So, you got your Hornets past that one and done, Coach.
Yeah, man. I tell you what, you should have felt the excitement in Charlotte with the success of the Hornets this year. as well as the Panthers. Panthers made playoffs too. So Charlotte's been alive with sports activity. But man, you talk about people that were disappointed. So I was out the day after they lost, and I could hear people's conversations, and just a lot of people talking about the Hornets. And I know it's disappointing that we went out early, but we are young. We probably one of the younger teams in the league, and with the experience that we gained this year, maybe we pick up a veteran in the off season. We could be in a position to be in a better spot next year.
Oh, okay. All righty there. So, yeah, I saw that, watching the television broadcast, and they were excited with jumping. It was like, oh, man, we just won it. We won the championship. But the deal was that they had that one game.
Yeah, and that's progress.
Right.
Okay. Remember when the Bulls couldn't beat the Pistons?
Yeah. Right.
And you know what? And they finally got over that hump, and they go on to win a couple titles. So everybody's disappointed in the immediate moment, but you got to think our future looks bright.
Right. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, look, guys, I did send you inside of my little thing there that Reverend Dr. Carlton Brown, who is a sports enthusiast. He's the dad to our intern. He had joined us on last week, and so Coach Brickey, he's back with us again on this week, and he's behind the mics, and he pastors Mount Zion, AME Zion Church out there in Eastover. So he's a Jamaican brother of mine, but he knows a couple of things.
This is crazy.
So, and Reverend Paul is producing this one. He got all his Steelers stuff, so he getting the early start. Like they're going to win something this year. So, you got that, and so what else you want to talk about, Coach, concerning the NBA?
Oh man, well this is that transition time in sports where you're putting football season's already behind you, basketball season is coming to an end, college season's already over, NBA season's coming to an end, but then you start transitioning in summer sports. So a lot of things going on, but NBA, trust me, I had TV on all day yesterday.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the games weren't very good, but I just think there's some mismatches in this first round that the series aren't really very good. Like the Celtics beat the Sixers yesterday by 32. Unless Embiid is healthy for the Sixers, there's just no chance for the Sixers to beat. So that series is over. I think OKC and Phoenix. OKC is just too much for Phoenix. That'll end early. The surprise was the Magic beating Detroit in Detroit.
Yeah.
So who saw that coming? Right. So we got to keep an eye on that one. And then Spurs out west, the Spurs beat the Trailblazers. Again, Spurs are very young too. Other than their point guard, they are all probably under 25. So another team to look forward to in the future.
What I would like to say, Coach, is the interesting thing about the play-in, those games, the first games were real close. They really kind of set a tone. But the challenging thing, and I would hear Pastor Troy say it all the time, those games were all on Amazon Prime. I mean, you had because I'm looking for the channel that is on. I can't find it, and I'm like, man, and I have to Google, and this says it's on Amazon Prime. I'm like, wow, so it's crazy. But like you said, this first round of the real playoffs. It's going to be kind of lopsided because you got 1 and 8. I guess with the exception of the other games, which you'll have somewhat like the 4 and 5 playing each other. So.
Yeah. I want to pose this question. I want to hear DL's take on this. We saw the Warriors go out in the play-in. Is that Are the Warriors done? Have we seen the last of the Warriors?
I think we've seen the last of the Warriors because Draymond Green antics at the end of that game towards Phoenix. To me, that should tell the owner it's time to move on. I don't think that somebody will want Draymond Green's salary in his antics because he's old. He's not producing the way he used to. But I think Steve Kerr is ready to move on.
You know, I used to watch a lot of the Warriors play. Draymond is fantastic. Although he doesn't score much, he is really good in the offense because they are built around shooting. If he goes to any other team, he's not the same player. He won't have the same opportunity. So yeah, I think he's stuck in Golden State. Even if they want to get rid of him, you know, they just cut him and pay him. But you know, so are we seeing the passing of the torch from the Warriors to maybe San Antonio?
Well, I won't say San Antonio because you got Oklahoma City, and you got players who are mature. If you come back to the Queen City, Charlotte, they have some tough decisions to make. LaMelo Ball, he's immature. You know, if I'm an owner, do I want a star player with tattoos all over his face? He's at a press conference. When he leaves the press conference podium, his, you know, they wear the girdles under their playing pants, and it's showing. Towel across his neck, leaving a press conference. And that's after he hit a woman by driving left to center, probably distracted driving. This ain't the first incident he had with driving. He ran over a kid coming out of the parking garage at the arena. And some of his behavior, I've seen the clip where he's interfering with the opposing team layup line, tripping Bam about you. It's just, he's John Morant. He's headed towards John Morant. He's a good player, though. So, you know, you don't give him away, but you come to a point to where, do I really want this kid? Because Memphis is trying to ship John Morant. So that's what the Hornets have to ask themselves. But look at L.A. Clippers. They allowed Kawhi Leonard to dictate what players they want. They took Paul George from OKC. OKC has their first-round pick this year. And they got SGA, who's going to be the back-to-back MVP. So on one team, you have a player who's just being disruptive, and he threw the coach under the bus after the game Friday night. Then on the other team, Kawhi Leonard, he's a team player, but he's very demanding. He stayed in San Diego. They had to hold up the bus so he could get back to L.A. from San Diego. You got to have a good general manager and be willing to tell players enough is enough. So OKC is going to win this year, I think. I don't think nobody can stop Oklahoma City.
Now, you know, DL, I know this is regular season, but the Spurs beat OKC. I want to say, I think they played 6 times and they beat them 5 out of 6, or 4 out of 5, or something like that.
3 out of 4.
So, you know, I think Oklahoma City is the best in the league because they're deep and they got experience. I think that's what San Antonio doesn't have much of. But I think Coach San Antonio could beat them in the series.
Yeah, well, Coach, can I get a comment from Dr. Brown here? He's kind of on these things as well. He was citing numbers too, so he's another statistician. I thought them guys from Jamaica, I think they just didn't you guys do bobsleds down there or something like that one year?
Yeah, we did it this year also in the Winter Olympics. Yeah, we did all right.
Okay, all right.
Something new. But yeah, I don't know. I think San Antonio is the biggest threat to Oklahoma City. You know, even though Denver, don't sleep on Denver either. But I think San Antonio beat them, well, I think 3 out of 4 or 4 out of 5. Again, some of the guys were injured. They didn't have their full complement. OKC didn't. But I think in a 7-game series, I think San Antonio take them.
Wow.
You heard it here first.
I don't know, Coach. Dio, what do you think?
I agree. I agree. I think one game right now, OKC. 7 games, I think Spurs.
Yeah, that's me too. That's where I'm leaning to, man.
Well, we got to see. They got to, don't count Denver out.
Yeah.
Denver took OKC to 7 games
Right.
last year,
Right.
and teams could go and shoot and slip. So we just go see. The West will win the NBA title. The East just don't have enough. They're not deep enough, and the West has the better players. But I just like the coaching matchups. Chuck Daly, the late Chuck Daly, said it best. NBA players have to allow you to coach them, and when you have a team of young superstars like John Morant and LaMelo Ball, they don't want to win nothing. They happy they made it to the league, and they want teams have to. Your superstar has to be coachable, and that what makes it easy for some of these coaches. You got superstars on those teams that are coachable.
Yeah, like I've heard a lot about OKC's roster and how they hold each other accountable on defense.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when the players are holding each other accountable, it's way easier to coach a team. So you just giving direction. You don't have to, you don't have to motivate guys with it. So that is a plus when you got guys in the locker room and in practice are going to make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to do before the coach has to say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
It's just like you said. You said it right, Coach. The city was a buzz in the Charlotte area. The arena was packed when they beat. Who did they beat the first play-in game?
Miami Heat.
Miami, yeah. Yeah, it was packed, and they were excited. And I think they're going to come back, support the team. Like I said, all the players, Coach Lee had a tremendous year. Charles Lee had a tremendous year. Like I said, I'm just disappointed in their quote-unquote best player. That's debatable, who you add. He doesn't have leader traits. He'll never have those leader traits. But hopefully he can play better.
Well, I think Charlotte is in a good spot because he got some leverage now. I think he could, if you trade him, he's got great value.
Yeah.
If you're trying to trade Ja Morant right now, a lot of people are just going to say no. We don't need that.
Right.
But LaMelo's got value, so this is a great time. And trust me, I've been to many Hornets games this year, and I've watched him on TV live. He is better than I thought he was. He is really, really good. Like he just plays at a great pace. He understands the game at a high level. He can pass. He can shoot. He's a really good player. So what better time to trade him? And maybe you can get you a veteran draft pick.
Yeah, that's what they need to do. Hopefully somebody sees him as that missing piece and decides to take him. I think it will be addition by subtraction. I'd like to keep him because he shoots that free ball at a high percentage, but he so shoot first all the time, and he just shoots Knippel, who hopefully we have him as the rookie of the year. It's going to be interesting with the voters coming down to Cooper Flagg can do two Dookies. Cooper Flagg from Duke in Dallas and Knippel from Duke are going to be battling out for rookie of the year. So, Coach, we got to root for the one that's playing in Charlotte.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
Right. Well, look, so that's the NBA. We got about 5 minutes. Let's take a break right now and come back. Again, producing today, Reverend Paul. We have also behind the mics Dr. Brown. He's an avid sports enthusiast. And his son, the intern, and he got a new hairdo. I'll leave that alone. That's cool, man. Y'all all right, boy. Look, I can't wear it, man. Look, I'm just jealous because I don't have no hair at all, okay? So, we'll be back for more Follow This.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code WALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank.
Hello, I'm Eric Hurley with the Police Department Traffic Unit. We don't write tickets to raise money, we write tickets to change behavior. Speed was the primary factor in more than 60% of the 28 fatal crashes we investigated last year. Every stop we make might be the one that prevents the next death. I'd rather give you a citation than tell your loved one you're never coming home.
I'm Detective Deal with the Fayetteville Police Department's Traffic Unit. As a crash reconstructionist, I don't guess what happened, I prove it. We measure, photograph, and digitally rebuild each fatal scene millisecond by millisecond. Speed is the most common factor we find in deadly crashes. I've seen cars split in half just because someone was in a hurry. These aren't freak accidents, they're choices, and every choice has a consequence.
If you see blue lights in 2026, expect a citation.
If we see this scene again, someone didn't listen. Your speed, your choice, your consequence.
Speed kills, respect the limit.
This April, join North Carolina Realtors in celebrating Fair Housing Month. Fair housing means everyone deserves a place to call home, regardless of race, color, national origin, religion, sex, or disability. NC Realtors are committed to fair housing for all North Carolinians and ensuring that everyone has access to safe and affordable housing. Let's work together to create communities where everyone can thrive. Visit ncrealtors.org to learn more about fair housing. Paid for by NC Realtors.
And we're back. Okay, look, Coach and DL. So we're having a sidebar here. Before we get back to sports, just give me 90 seconds of this. So my intern comes in today with a new haircut. A new hairstyle. Got it. Are those twists?
Yeah.
Twist. Okay, all right. So and then we'll have the producer. I'm talking about his hair, and he would say, well, I'm bald by choice, not by force. So, and so, student intern said he was in the chair for a whole hour, and his dad said it was not that long. I'm like, in the chair for an hour for a guy getting his hair cut? Coach, is that a long time for a man to be getting his hair done? An hour?
I don't know anything beyond what I know, which is 20, 25 minutes. So and I'm on an appointment. So when I walk in 25 minutes, I'm out the door. So
that's me. I mean, minimum.
25. Yeah, that's how I live my life. That may not work for everybody, but again, I'm simple. I got a little fade, so that's easy.
DL, could you spend an hour in the chair getting your hair done?
The only time you do that when the barber's talking, they talking barbershop stuff, sports or whatever.
Yeah, been there a long time, man.
Yeah.
You're averaging around 25, sometimes 30, depending on if there's a conversation going on.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So because you definitely don't want the barber to be laughing while he's cutting your hair.
Again, oops. I'm gonna have to take that down, brother. Anyway, man, look, back to, I think in our little piece there, and DL helped us put that together, moving on to college ball, the NIL stuff, people are moving, leaving the teams and all that. There's been a lot of talk, Coach, since the last time you were behind the mic about the NIL. I mean, what are you feeling now concerning that? You know, I think this thing is probably going to come to a head in the next couple of years at least, and things are going to shift because I don't think that the collegiate level can survive even in football and basketball with the way things are going now. Your opinion on that?
I agree, and I'll say this: either the top of the top in college athletics is going to break off and do their own thing, because I don't think the current model is sustainable.
Right.
And by that I mean, if anybody's ever had to transfer credit to another university,
I have.
How is it possible you can transfer 3 and 4 times?
I know.
And stay on track to graduate,
right,
which is the mandate by the NCAA. So I don't see how this is working. I don't see how they're staying on track to graduate. And that's supposed to count against coaches if kids don't stay on track to graduate. So I don't even know how they're measuring that data. But I just don't think this current model is sustainable.
Yeah, because they call them student athletes. That's what they're supposed to be anyway, right? Student / athletes.
Although some of these NIL deals are getting $3 and $4 and $5 million, I think we can take the student out of it now.
I know, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It just, I don't know, man. Dr. Brown, what you thinking?
You're right. It's going to be athlete student now rather than student athlete. But you're right. I think it needs to be regulated a little bit better. I mean, I don't mind the kids getting paid because, I mean, they're the one generating millions and millions of dollars for revenue for their universities. But I think right now it needs more structure and more regulation so that you're right. How do you transfer 3 and 4 times and graduate? So, you know, I think it needs to be modified. But again, I don't mind the kids getting paid, man. They've been producing money for universities for a long time, and they just not getting paid. So, but I think it will. I think some of the coaches now are calling for better regulation. I think even the Congress is stepping in now. I heard, was it last week or a week before last? They're saying that they're going to step in if they don't regulate themselves.
Right. Hey, deal. So now I guess, you know, I can feel like this because I don't have a youngster, you know, that could qualify, that could be playing, making all this money. I wonder how much of a difference would it make if you had a son that was going to bring in $5 million.
Well, I still stand like this. I don't have a problem for kid transferring, but it has to be under the following condition. You get one free transfer, no sitting out. The next scenario is if the university say you played terrible, we're releasing you from your commitment. And the NCAA say they release you, you can go ahead. Or the coach is fired or quit. Other than that, because you're getting paid. You know, you're getting paid because who's to say a kid gets his money, a $3 million deal, and then he can say, you know what, I don't want to come practice today. That actually happens. You know, players are getting paid. You know, that's like a guaranteed contract for a year. So, but talking about the NIL and the portals, I think I forgot what the date it closed. It doesn't stay open, I think 10 to 14 days. But I put in the text group, Duke and Carolina's NIL transfers. The only big name for Carolina that got a lot of playing time was Bokovich, who went to Oklahoma State. It was another less impactful player from North Carolina with the Oklahoma State. Duke only had, the players that Duke had to transfer, they didn't see the court. So Duke's good to go for next year. You're not really transferring out of Duke. And Bokovich, to me, he should have stayed and gave Coach Malone a chance because Carolina offense, the guards didn't run a suitable offense to get his shots off. Bokovich needs screens, and he needs somebody to help him get his shot open. And he probably thought, you know, I can go elsewhere and get my shot off. He had a couple of good games, but I think it probably would have been in his best interest to stay because this is what Mike Malone do. The NBA is known for having to set screens to get their best shooters open. But hey, you know, he made the decision to move on. But I didn't see what State done in the neo transfer portal. They brought in 5 new starters last year, and they made it to the play-in game. But that's a good way to segue into the coaching because you got 2 new coaches in Chapel Hill, Coach Brickey and Raleigh.
Yeah. What do you think about those hires?
Oh, I'm ecstatic over Malone. I think his dad, the late Brandon Malone, was an NBA assistant coach, and he didn't serve as the head coach as long as Mike Malone did. His daughter it's coincidence. His daughter's played volleyball at UNC, so that has something to do with it. I just think he has the credentials to come in. They're paying him good money. I'm satisfied with the hire. And it's just time to move Carolina basketball over. And then in Raleigh, I think Gainey's a good hire. You know, sometimes, you know, I talked about, you know, I beat up on LaMelo Ball's character a little bit. I'm glad State moved on from what's the coach name? The one that went to float back to LSU.
Trader, that's what his name, Trader.
I can't think of his name right now.
Will Wade.
Okay, so keep this right. The governor got involved in this Louisiana. Now, you talk about character. This is a grown man. He got ran out of LSU for trying to buy players, and so they had to let him go. He went to McNeese State. Coach real good. He's a good coach. I'll give him that. But he took subtle shots at Hubert. We knew it was him when they were thinking about getting rid of Hubert. There was a coach, anonymous coach. He wasn't anonymous. I knew it was Will Wade. He said, we hope they keep him because it's easy to beat Carolina. So he's going to go to LSU, and I wish him nothing but the worst because he lied to their faces. They asked him, the AD, no, I'm staying here. I'm staying here. He didn't tell State he was leaving. He was too coward. He had his agent do it. So he's back where he needs to be, and I wish LSU nothing but negative. Hope they lose every game with Will Wade. He's not a person I would send my kid to because his word means nothing.
But be a good Christian now.
I read an article over the weekend on LSU that they have 0 players on their roster, and they had a really good freshman who was going to come back. And when they announced Will Wade was going to be new coach, he put his name in the portal. He said, nobody wants to play for Will Wade.
Right.
And I was like, wow. If a player, trust me, these players know each other. They communicate because they got social media now. So trust me, if he is that guy, the word is out, and he's going to have a difficult time finding players. Now, he's going to be able to pay some guys to come in. But it's hard to pay guys and build chemistry. That's hard to do. And I think that's what it takes to win. You can pay guys and be okay. But it's hard to pay guys and win.
Coach, I got a question for you though now. So now, you see, you're unique in this conversation because you've been a coach and you have a wife. So now, somebody offering you $20, $25, $30 million or whatever, I mean, can you go home and tell your wife that? that you're not going? I mean, seriously.
You know, at this stage of my life, I know who I am, and I know what I'm willing and not willing to do. And if it's going to disturb my peace, they can have that.
Okay.
So,
that's a lot of money, though.
I don't fault Will Wade for doing it. It's just how he did it. Yeah. He should have told his agent there is a possibility that I may be moving on, and left it at that. And then and I don't know if State matches his contract to LSU when he stays because he's from that area.
Right. Well, I saw this thing, and I don't know how credible it is, that 2 of the State players may move over to Carolina. Have you seen that?
You know, I did see that. And the first thing I thought was, boy, there is just no loyalty anymore.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? Hey, look, as long as
going to an institution used to mean something.
Right.
I want to represent this university, and now you'll jump schools in the same in the 30-mile region.
That's true. Well, look,
area. So
I don't have a problem with that as long as somebody from Carolina goes to Duke. Duke folk can come over to Carolina, but just being honest.
D, I was intrigued by your comment about D. I was a Carolina fan, and you said you like the hire
Sometimes.
of Coach Malone. What is it that you like about him at UNC?
You talking about Mike Malone?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, he's an NBA champion coach, and he knows how to coach personalities. And if you see Nikola Jokic, back-to-back MVPs, it has something to do with coach, so we know he can coach a big man. And defense, the Nuggets, they play defense when it counts. And I think he can go into those living rooms and tell the parents, this is what I did at the NBA. He was a long-time assistant. He coached. Listen, he had to coach. What's the kid? DeMarcus Cousins. He knows how to coach players with attitudes. So he's seen it all, and I like the fact that he kept some UNC assistants, and that goes over big with the UNC alumni. And I think he's learned. I think he's learned from being let go at Denver that he's seen the highs and lows, and I just think he's going to be a good leader among these young men. He has no big scandals, which is a good thing, and listen. Carolina played it close to the vest. I don't know of any other coaches that was trying to get the job. I thought Billy Donovan was going to take it, but I was wrong about that. Why he wants to stay with Chicago Bulls, I don't know. But I don't know if he was ever offered the job. Who knows?
I'm going to tell you, I think one of the things that a lot of coaches don't want to do is deal with the NIL and the transfer portal.
Right.
Can Mike Malone used to coach the pros. That's a whole different thing than coaching an 18-year-old who's making $2 million. You know what I mean? Like, that's it's you got to deal with a whole different world. You got to deal maybe not so much now because of transfer portal NIL, but you used to have to do with recruiting. Now it's transactional. One of my coaching friends told me that was a word he used. I said, what's the difference in recruiting now? He said, it's transactional. I said, what do you mean? He said, you know whether you got the money to be in the conversation or not. I said, he said, in a way, it makes it so much easier. But in a way, it takes away because you don't get to know the kid as well. It used to be you had to go to the kid's high school, watch him play, get to know his coach, his family, his girlfriend, his aunt, uncle, grandma. You should know his whole family. And now you're looking in the portal and trying to figure out how much it's going to cost. And maybe that's what they got to do on the back end now is kind of investigative work. But I think that's what's missing. And I think, I won't get your input on this. Michigan wins the title this year with all transfers. So does that put pressure on every other coach now that they've seen that it can be done?
Yeah, it does. And I think the pressure is definitely going to be on the young man at Duke, John Shire, because Michigan took 5 players, and when he gets these back-to-back, he's going to have the back-to-back college player of the year. He's not injected to lose his job, nor should he be, but he's going to probably put some pressure on himself to make sure his team, if they get another player of the year, that they go in depth and win it. Now, you talk about pressure, they better give Justin Gainey down in Raleigh some time because he got the job. It's his first head coaching job. Now, he's been a well-traveled assistant. What I like about Justin Gainey, coach, is that he's been assistant coaches at different locations, which is going to help out. But State has to give him time because you can't hire a coach like this his first time and expect him to do as well as State did this year. I just hope they give him the time because if some high-profile coach is fired next year and State doesn't do good, they may be one and done with him. I hope that's not the case because he's their alumni, and I'm rooting for Justin Gainey, just not when he plays Carolina. And they don't play Carolina but one time. It should be 2, but that's another story. So, but, yeah, I do agree with you. When you win with 5 transfers, it puts pressure on other coaches.
You talking about? You said they played well. What you talking about? Iowa State or NC State?
Who you talking about, Troy?
Talking about NC State. They didn't play well this year. They played well. How?
Well, Troy, they listen. They had a tremendous improvement. They didn't qualify for the ACC tournament last year under Keats, and then they played better. They started out good. They hit a low in the season, but they had a better season. They beat the brakes off Carolina. I was at that game, which was embarrassing. And they had a better season, Troy. I don't know. If you look at what they did last year compared to this year, it was a better season. Now, they lost to Texas, who went deep. Texas went to the Sweet 16 in the NCAA, and that's who they lost to at the first four. So,
yeah, but they lost, what, 6 games in a row? I mean, the only thing they can say that they did was beat Carolina. That, come on, tell the truth.
Well, hey, Troy, listen, State had 5 transfers. They didn't have, unlike Duke and Carolina, they didn't have returning starters. So if you're a State fan, they wasn't firing Will Wade, Troy. They were building on that. Don't get me wrong.
I'm with you, but I mean, it's like Coach just said now, the Michigan, they had all those that portal. That's what people are doing now. They're going out and it's like the NBA, man. you put together 5 players and you try to win it that year. That's what they do. And aren't some of those guys about 30 years old now, something like that? I mean,
I think the Michigan coach deserves a lot of credit, and some other coaches too. But because I bet you he did so much homework. Like when I watched Michigan play, I was like, they like each other. I could tell they have great chemistry.
Right.
And that's a result of coaches doing homework and background on players. So when they bring them in, they understand who they're bringing in, and they know they're going to fit a certain system. So I give a lot of credit to the coach on that.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, Troy, I got Mr. Brown. I don't know if you got a military background or whatever, but what I always say about coaching, I don't care what sport it is, you're going to let your stars be stars, especially in the NBA. You just hope they don't go crazy. But I also say you have 2 things I always say about I would have loved to see in Carolina with Hubert Davis. I want to see his practice. I want to see that videotape because there is a correlation. What you do in practice carries over to the game, and I could believe some of the stuff I saw. But I also believe in discipline and teamwork. What's your point of view on that?
He was asking you that question.
Oh, me? Oh. Well, yeah, I was a little bit disappointed with Hubert Davis and how they folded down. It seemed like they couldn't close out in the game. They would do well early, but in the end, they didn't have I think they didn't really have a go-to player who could, command the game and make those final decisions. And I think that hurt them. Of course, they lost their superstar early in the season. And that kind of hindered them a little bit. But I would have hoped that they would have given them one more chance just because their superstar was out. But they showed that they lacked discipline, and you are right. They lacked discipline. They didn't look like they have the cohesion. They didn't look like they could close out games well, and that's what hurt North Carolina, I think.
Sure. Well, look, guys, my producer's looking at me. I need to take a break. Let's take a quick break, come back, and we'll have just everybody have about 30 seconds to close out. But anyway, inside of the Coach Brickey Sports Show, we'll be right back.
Make it ready for the flow. Make it ready for the flow. Brickey Sports Show.
The State Department of Health and Human Services says cases of Legionnaire's disease jumped more than 50% in just 1 year. The number of cases jumping from 201 in 2024 to 310 1 year later. Pakistan preparing for new talks between the United States and Iran, even as tensions arise around the Straits of Hormuz. 1 day after a shooting at Triangle Town Center in Raleigh left 3 people injured, there was a fight inside the mall that resulted in arrest a day later. Normally, there are plenty of campfires in western North Carolina this time of year. Not the case this year. That statewide burn ban continues because of the extreme dry weather. And because of the dry weather, a number of North Carolina cities and towns are looking at the possibility of having water problems in Raleigh. Limited water restrictions began today, along with those in 6 other Wake County towns. Tony Brixby, NCN News.
I'm Jamie Monticelli, WIDU Radio News. Cumberland County Schools say discover flexible K-12 virtual learning that adapts to your family. Cumberland Academy K-5 and 6-12 offer high-quality instruction, seamless support, and the full CCS experience all from home. You can apply by Friday, May 29th, ccs.k12.nc.us. Cumberland County Schools say mark your calendar. The 4th Annual Children's Mental Health and Wellness Fair is happening Saturday, May 9th, 8 a.m. until 11 a.m. That is at Festival Park. Check out a morning focused on fun, connection, and well-being. It is a free event. The city of Fayetteville was among a record 39 North Carolina jurisdictions to earn recognition in the North Carolina City and County Communicators 2026 Excellence in Communications Awards. The city's marketing and communications team won 2 first-place awards. From WIDU Radio, I'm Jamie Monticelli.
This morning, we're starting out fairly comfortably, but near-record heat is on tap as we head into the afternoon. Looking at high temperatures ranging between about 88 and 93 out there today. Overnight is still going to be quite warm as we see the breeze building ahead of a cold front. That cold front brings in a very narrow shot of rain, not much to get excited over as we head into Sunday. It will, however, bring in some much cooler air by Sunday afternoon. I'm meteorologist Chris Michaels in the NCN Weather Center.
If you can no longer work because of illness or injury, you should be collecting Social Security disability insurance benefits. Call Brent Adams now for a free consultation. Don't give up just because you've been turned down. Brent Adams has helped thousands collect full disability benefits even after they've been turned down. Call now, 910-888-8888. Don't hesitate. Call 8. At Brent Adams & Associates, we make things right.
Are you struggling with your Medicare drug costs? The NC Department of Insurance SHIP program may be able to help. The Extra Help and Medicare Savings programs are available for those who qualify, but you have to apply. Contact SHIP today to see if you qualify. Visit ncshiip.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212. SHIP provides free, unbiased help in all 100 counties.
Project supported by grants from the Administration for Community Living. Contents do not necessarily represent official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
Carolina Complete Health. From neighborhoods in Charlotte to families in Greensboro, Raleigh, and Durham, all the way to Asheville and Wilmington, and everything in between. We are here for communities across North Carolina, connecting you to the care and support you need. We are here to make healthcare easier to access and understand. We are here to bridge the gap, because your health matters. Your community matters. You matter. We are here for your health. Visit hereforyourhealthnc.com.
Hi, I'm Mitch Colvin, president of Colvin Funeral Home and Crematory. For over 50 years, our family has provided professional services with dignity, compassion, and respect with families during a time of need. We realize funeral services are as unique as those we're honoring. We offer a variety of affordable, quality services tailored to meet each family's needs, specializing in burial and cremation services. Proudly servicing Cumberland, Robeson, Hoke, Harnett, Bladen, and surrounding counties from 2 locations, 2010 Murchison Road, Fayetteville, 1904 Elizabethtown Road, Lumberton. For more information, visit our website, www.hmcolvin.com.
The Agricultural Institute at NC State University is preparing graduates for emerging trends in precision agriculture and food animal processing. Our students learn science, technology, and profitability to integrate into agricultural businesses. Experience cutting-edge research, innovative teaching, and tap into our statewide professional network. Invest in yourself and learn more about our program online by searching NC State Ag Institute. Deadline for fall enrollment is June 1st. 2 years, 1 degree, endless possibilities.
And we're back to the Coach Brickey Sports Show. Guys, we got 5 minutes. I let y'all parse it out however y'all want to. Coach, back to you.
Well, it's a couple sports that are emerging, do we want to talk about? Is it baseball? Is it too early to talk about baseball? Hockey playoffs? Are the Hurricanes in the playoffs this year?
Yes, they're in the playoffs.
Yeah. Okay. Are we doing? I haven't even followed it. Are we doing anything?
I don't know because I actually followed it.
Yeah, I think they won game 1. I don't know if they played game 2 yet, but they held down and won game 1. It was a close one. I think they won 2-0.
2-1.
Yeah, 2-1. Yeah.
Boy, Dr. Brown be on this stuff, man. I mean, you know, he be knowing the numbers and who won and everything. I'm glad he's in the room.
You know what's weird? I love track and field, and I know that now that it's warming up, we'll get to more track and field events. So that's the one sport I look forward to in the summer. Spring summer is more track and field, although it's not highly televised here in the U.S.
That you guys, y'all good at that, right?
What?
Jamaicans?
Good at what?
Track and field.
What? Now you talking my language right there, boy. What? You know, y'all are jealous of Jamaicans.
Okay.
Because we have the standard.
Okay.
We're the standard. For a small country like we are, we produce more sprinters, more runners than per capita than any country in the world. And so, you know, we're bringing out a new crop coming up now. So watch out. You know, Mr. Lyles, watch out.
Okay, all right. Well, good guys, you guys have you heard it from one of the nationals.
Yeah. So Troy and Coach, you have the Pittsburgh hold the annual NFL draft starts Thursday. We got about 5 or 10 people native from North Carolina that could be drafted, so that's a big thing coming up. Round 1 is Thursday, then they have the next 2 through 6 Friday and Saturday, so that's a big event coming up.
Yeah.
And one last thing, Coach, the ACC tournament, the way Pitt went out, I just knew they were going to get rid of Jeff Capel, but I'm glad they brought him back. They're going to let him try to right that ship. So Jeff Capel, Fayetteville, North Carolina native, is coming back at Pitt. So that's about it for me.
But look, guys, the ACC baseball, I believe North Carolina, UNC is tops in that. Am I right about that? You don't know?
No,
well,
no.
Y'all take my word for it then.
I do know that Carolina is ranked. Carolina is ranked in there. And normally you do have strong programs coming out of Carolina State, and it's probably a Clemson or something like that. But yeah, I do know Carolina. Last time I saw a highlight, I think Carolina was ranked either 4th or 7th, something like that. Yeah,
I think they're tops in the ACC.
They're currently ranked 3rd.
3rd. Okay. Wow.
Okay,
that's good. So, but anyway, though, you know, I mean, that's baseball. They tell me, okay, Coach, I'm gonna get your professional opinion on this. They tell me that hitting that ball, coming at you, going 100 miles an hour, is probably the most difficult thing in all sports. When you break it down, just think if a guy hits 300, he goes into the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? So that means he's hitting it 3 out of 10. I mean, is that kind of true?
Man, let me tell you, I have done a lot. I've tried about every sport known to man, and hitting a baseball is, I'll tell you,
difficult.
Because it's not like it's just coming straight at you. It's moving while it's coming at you. So yeah, it's got to be one of the more difficult sports to do at a high level.
So you definitely gotta give your hats off to players who play double sports like Deion Sanders and Bo Jackson.
Know, right? But Bo, if Bo hadn't got hurt, he'd been the baddest ball on the planet.
Yeah.
Bo knows.
But you did say the draft is coming up, and so the Raiders have first deals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can pick that Mendoza.
So I say this can be a thing we're going to be picking on the Raiders. Look, don't worry about it. Look, guys, Coach, 15 seconds. Last of it's left to you, man. Appreciate you this morning. Welcome back.
Well, listen, man, it's good to be back with you guys. I appreciate you. Appreciate your prayers. I guess maybe we need to think about next week talking about the draft. We need to do some analysis. So Dr. Brown, if you can be around next week, you seem like you're good with numbers. And BL, I know you crunch numbers.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we need to do some analysis about the draft.
About the draft over the weekend. Okay, we'll be ready.
But I know Paul said, they're going. I don't know what the Steelers is drafting, but this is a time of year for hope. You get that renewed hope. Like we can go from not making the playoffs to we got some draft picks. You can make some trades. And your fortunes can turn around overnight. So let's talk football next week.
Yes, sir. All right. Excellent. Well, look, we out of here. Y'all have a great rest of your day. I think I have 60 on today. Great weather.